You are soaking in magnesium and it's not working. Before you say, oh, it doesn't work for me, can you and I talk for a minute? First of all, it can be so frustrating. You've invested time and money. Magnesium shines the light on what your body needs, and it could be this. It could be that you need taurine. If you've been in a state of high stress, taurine can become low. It's a simple amino acid. By adding taurine back in, it can help hold magnesium in the cell, and then you start experiencing all the benefits that you've heard about soaking in Living the Good Life Naturally's magnesium. That can be one thing. Let's dive a little deeper though on taurine. You can take too much because too much taurine can drop thyroid function. I don't want that at all. I like to stay around 500 milligrams for taurine, but you do what's best for you. Recognize though, when you get into that upper limits of 3,000 milligrams, it can affect and change how your thyroid functions. And always, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you what to do, just sharing patterns for you to decide what's best for you. Another one that can stop the benefit and uptake of soaking in Living the Good Life Naturally's transdermal magnesium during this magnesium 30-day challenge is simply hydration. Hydration. Magnesium is hydrophilic. Magnesium needs water to move in your body. And if you've gotten dehydrated, then magnesium is not going to move as efficiently. One of the things that I like to do is when I'm setting up a magnesium soak, which I'm headed home to do that right after this live. When I'm setting up to do that, I drink water as I'm setting it up. I drink water while I'm soaking, and I drink water after I'm soaking. That's a good fit for me. See if that's a good fit for you to help increase your water. Remember, salt pushes water into the cell. It's not just about drinking water anymore. It's about how much water is hydrating your body. And if you're drinking water and running to the bathroom, now, obviously we need to use the bathroom during the day, but it shouldn't be you're drinking the water, running to the bathroom, drinking the water, running to the bathroom. We want your cells absorbing that. Now, salt is very different for everyone, and what works for me will not work for you. I've always leaned toward low blood pressure, so I can take a lot of salt and still be in a very functional zone. If some people took that much salt, they would be in trouble. So make sure the salt that you're taking works for your body, your lifestyle. Medications that you're on can make a difference. Your lymph system can make a difference. So this is very personalized to the person. That salt, even just a grain, I couldn't think of that, a grain on your tongue of salt can make the difference of whether you're uptaking that water or just it's going through your system. Just even a grain, but always make sure it's appropriate for you. Let's talk about another one. Lymph. Lymph goes everywhere the blood goes. And I've said for 25 years, it's the unsung hero in your body. It goes everywhere that your blood goes, but it does not have the benefit of having your heart to pump it. Your heart pumps your blood. Your heart does not pump the lymph, even though it goes the same places. You determine how often your lymph gets pumped. And that's by movement. That's by working with your lymph. And there's lots of different tools out there that can help you with your lymph. I like to keep it in order of operations. Remember math class and they taught you order of operations? Hydration comes before lymph. And so let's get you hydrated, in my opinion, for me. I want to be hydrated. I need to turn that around. I want to be hydrated before I start to work on my lymph so that my lymph moves. And there's lots of movement. Rebounding moves lymph. They're bouncing. I like to do just a nice little bounce in the morning. I do a little dance, and that helps move my lymph. Those types of things will also help move the magnesium through your body. I've seen it as we did testing with thermal imaging. Those people who worked on their lymph, magnesium moved more efficiently. So think of investing 2 to 4 minutes on your lymph before you soak in magnesium, and you're investing in your soaking time becoming more efficient, which means you have to soak less. And that's my goal. That's my goal, is making magnesium simple and easy and using the least amount of magnesium for the most amount of benefit. That's always my goal. The least amount, we can call it the lazy girl's guide to creating and or maintaining optimal health. Least amount, maximum. Least minimum input, maximum output. That's my goal for everything. Now, let's talk about another thing that it could be. It could be simply inflammation. If your body is incredibly high in inflammation, the magnesium, you don't get the feedback from your body about what the magnesium is doing. Now, there are different ways to focus on inflammation. One of the things that I love is testing my inflammation levels every year. Inflammation is the test for that is a high sensitive C-reactive. Oh my goodness. Can I take that back? I should do these lives at the beginning of the day, not at the end of the day. C-reactive protein is my favorite way to have a marker for where my inflammation is at. And we want that under a 1, right? But also at the same time, it's a very individual marker. And what would be a good number for me might not be a good number for you. I have had that blood work done every year. I have that in a file that is marked with the blood work that it is. And then I've got that filed so I can look back. I think I started in 2014. I think it was 2014. But the year I started, I have that every year up until now. And that way I can look, 2020, my inflammation went up. I want it going down. We do want it under 1, but we also want to look and see, am I moving up or am I moving down? You might be under 1, hooray, happy dance, but you've actually been moving up the last 3 years. That's why I think it's so darn important to track it, because we want to be under 1, but we want to be moving it down every year. Inflammation slows down your body's ability to heal. Now, there's some ways that you can bring that down. Some of them are a little tricky to talk on social media. I get kind of a little hand slap about it. Look into ionic boron. It's an incredible way. You have to be careful with it. It's powerful. It's not for everyone. If you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's not for you. It will aggravate that. It is a great way to quickly bring inflammation down. I'm not going to go into much more detail here on social media so that my videos continue to go out to people, because remember, my name is Kristen Bowen. I'm the founder of Living the Good Life Naturally, and my goal is to end magnesium deficiency in women by 2030, right? I'm getting close. I'm getting close to 2030, and we've got to end this. Help me share this video and share with your friends about what we're talking about so that we can be a part of helping women to become healthier, not sicker. Because when the whole reason I do this is when a woman wakes up and she feels good, she immediately starts to lift other people. It's just the natural part of being a woman. You want to make the world a better place. And if you look outside, the world for children has gotten worse. And when a woman feels good, she immediately starts lifting. And in the process, children have a better, safer environment to really grow in an environment that they're taken care of and nurtured and loved on, so that they can become the best versions of who they're meant to be. That's what drives me. And that's my goal for ending magnesium deficiency in 2030. Help me, come be a part of this. Have you joined the Magnesium 30-day challenge? If you haven't, you can start now. You're not late. If you've already started and you're 3 weeks into it, it doesn't matter. Come and be a part. Let you and I talk, and let's learn about this journey that we're on of creating optimal health. Another reason that your magnesium might not be moving, and I left this one for the last because it's tricky. It's not a one and done. It's not something we can talk about, we can go do it, and it's done. It's got more nuances. But if it's what you're needing, it's a game changer. And that is our gut. Our gut. If you are low or high on hydrochloric acid, your gut, we're not uptaking and utilizing things that are in our body, and it can slow down and stop magnesium. So we want that, excuse me, we want that to be as functional as possible. You might need a betaine protocol. Betaine protocols are incredible. I usually do those once or twice a year. You might need to just literally, the simplest thing you can do is slow down your eating. I tend to, especially at lunch, like wolf it down, like I've got to get back to work. I've got to get those emails answered, kind of thing. Can you relate to that? Do you have different meals that you're eating faster because you've got a lot to go do while you're being? Lunch is that for me. And making sure that I am slowing down and chewing my food. I promise you, I've done groups of women that the only thing that they change is slowing down their eating, chewing longer, and taking smaller bites. And 100% of that group experienced an increase in their digestion, which, when that happens, it keeps inflammation lower and magnesium can work more efficiently in our body. Don't negate the small and simple steps. Sometimes we want this great big solution, right? This really complex. And that's actually us just overcomplicating. Well, no, I should say me. That's me overcomplicating it, looking for something big that really gives me a dopamine rush. And in actuality, it's habits. It comes down to the habit of how you approach the food at the table. And I am really focused on not eating while I'm watching TV, not eating while I'm reading emails, not eating while I'm scrolling social media, because it's just me. And I forget to set the table and sit down at the table, prepare my stomach for digestion and eating the food and just enjoying the flavors. The last 6 months, I really got that. I walked away from that habit. And now I'm learning and remembering to do that for myself, to take that time to sit down, chew my food well, longer than what I think I need to. And it always helps your digestion. And anything that we can do to help the balance in the gut helps your body utilize magnesium more efficiently. B vitamins, that's another one. Let's talk about that. If you're not feeling the benefit from magnesium, it might be B vitamins. Now, currently, I am using a synthetic methylated B vitamin. I have used in the past bee pollen, but I stopped for 6 months. And right now, I don't really have the bandwidth to get bee pollen back in. I will eventually, but right now I don't. So I'm taking an easier pathway, an easier option, and using methylated B vitamins. Why methylated? It's an easier pathway, less steps to get the B vitamins in your body and working. Are they synthetic? Yep, they are. Am I okay with that? Yes, I am. I am the girl to prove to you that imperfect action creates optimal health. Now, is my bee pollen like whole foods and cofactors all involved? Absolutely it is. I don't have the bandwidth, and I'm okay with that. I'm not in a place to do that. And my goal is, because sometimes is what I've done in the past, my goal is to not beat myself up with the information that I have while I'm taking imperfect action. And let me talk with you about how that shows up for me. I'm taking the methylated synthetic, right? Vitamins to help me. And while I'm taking them, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I should be doing bee pollen. It's better. It's the optimal way. It's the best way. And so while I've made the decision to make it work for the situation that I am in right now, I'm beating myself up that I'm not taking a better solution. And I'm beating myself up. Guess what? When I do that, pushes my magnesium right out the door. Another way that shows up a lot that I see is when you're taking something for your thyroid and you're beating yourself up because you want to do it naturally. And when we do that as women, we're actually pushing the magnesium out of our body, even though we think we're taking steps to build health. We're stressing ourselves out. And in the process of doing that, of that stress, we are pushing the master mineral out of our body. We control the master mineral of magnesium by the thoughts we think and how we treat ourselves. Join me on the imperfect side. Yes, bee pollen's great. Finding a good source can be a little tricky because we don't want it loaded with heavy metals. So you need to make sure you've got a quality source. Right now, I don't have the bandwidth to do bee pollen. I'm doing the methylated B vitamins, and I'm okay with that. And I'm not beating myself up that I'm not doing B vitamins. But B vitamins can be another reason. Vitamin C can be another reason. I get my vitamin C from acerola cherry powder. It has a strong copper core, and it is loaded with other nutrients. And it boosts my adrenals. It helps me hold on to my magnesium, and it's a whole food, and I love it. The one I take is on livingthegoodlifenaturally.com because I got tired of acerola cherry powder being processed too quickly, and the high heat, you lose a lot of the nutritional value. And the other thing that would happen is they would add all of this synthetic stuff. The one that I have, the synthetic additives to make it easier to process are not in it. And I list everything that's in it. So that vitamin C can be really good. Now, at this point, you might be totally overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, Kristen, you've said this and this and this and this and this. So let's keep it simple. Because typically with clients is what I see is hydration. Simple hydration and chewing your food. Those two things. And they don't cost anything. The next one that I see the biggest difference is taurine, helping you to hold it in your cell. The next one that I see the biggest difference is adding desiccated liver because it has that whole food vitamin B, and I'm taking that right now. I'm also adding some methylated B12 along with it. So keep it simple. And remember, we're here together. We can help each other out. And we can talk about it. And you can share in the comments like what's working for you, what's not working for you. But remember, and Jackie, I'm actually going to pop this up. Jackie made this comment when I was talking about the way we treat ourselves and beating ourselves up that we're not taking the perfect action. Right now, sometimes I DoorDash to get food, and I'm okay with that because it's food and calories. And for 6 months, I went without enough protein and without enough food. And I can see the difference in my body. I can see the difference in how my skin is. I can see the difference in the hair loss. And it's simply, it was a lack of food, of just not remembering to eat and not getting that in my body. My body got a shock and I just went to shut down. And so I'm back. I'm opening back up and recognizing, oh, I need better food. And sometimes that's Vessel Kitchen. For me, it's a good option right now. Is it the perfect option? No. But remember, I'm over on the underachiever side, and I'm just celebrating the fact that I got some good food in and made an imperfect choice and got some good calories and some good protein and some good fiber, all those good things that we know our body needs. And I don't beat myself up that it's not organic and grown in my garden and all of those things. Now, those things are fantastic, right? They're absolutely fantastic. I don't have the bandwidth right now. Making decisions for your health and matching the bandwidth where you're at needs to happen. And if you're not matching your choices to your bandwidth and you're stressing yourself out, that's not creating health. That's creating stress and pushing out your master mineral. And I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. And so I'm okay with the imperfect action that I'm taking. And I'm celebrating that I got Vessel Kitchen for dinner. And it was delicious. Have you eaten there? Have you tried? I'd never eaten there. And there's one in Salt Lake by my home there. And there's actually, I'm at my office now in Logan, and there's a new one here in Logan. So let me know if where you're at, you are getting, if you've tried Vessel Kitchen before. So Jackie, I appreciate you commenting that, oh, that makes sense. And we just need to remind each other. We need to remind each other along the pathway that habits of perfectionism actually walk us away from being healthy. So I need to get going. Magnesium, if you're not feeling the benefit, the first things to try, hydration. Check your hydration. Simply making sure you're getting enough water can be enough. Number 2, make sure, let's see, what is number 2? I just went blank. Gosh, I shouldn't do these at the end of the day, guys. I have talked with so many people today that my brain's like, and it was delightful. It was so good. I got to talk with so many people. And one person, as we were fixing her order, I realized she was my neighbor in Sugar House. How fun is that? I had so much fun. It also means, though, that my brain at the end of the day. So what do we talk about? Oh, a little bit of salt in your water. Pushing that water into your cells. That's super helpful. How you chew your food. Slowing down and chewing your food better, that can be super helpful in the inflammation in your body, which helps your body hold on to the magnesium faster. Kristen asked, where am I buying your bee pollen? I used to have a fantastic source, and I don't have that source anymore. And so another fantastic source is to look for your local beekeeper. And a local beekeeper is going to sell his pollen when his hives are producing too much, which means they're super healthy. Buying it at the grocery store wouldn't be the best option because a lot of times it's been stripped of all the goodness that bee pollen has. Buying it online, I would be concerned about sourcing. Where are they getting it from? So my favorite way is just to go befriend a local beekeeper, and either they'll be selling it or maybe it's a friend and they're sharing it with you. But that's the best way to source that. Thank you. I just saw that comment, Kristen. Oh, so let's look here. Jackie, I am so with you on this. I'm going to read it, what Jackie said. The perfectionist attitude, in my opinion, Jackie said, can be, is more stressful to our body than the less than optimal food or supplements. And I wholeheartedly agree with this, Jackie. This hill is one I am standing on. Your stress levels. And my husband was the perfect example of this. He had such a mellow attitude that his body was healthier than what it should have been. And when the doctors looked at his blood work and then looked at him, they're like, this doesn't match. You shouldn't be able to walk in here. And part of it was his attitude. He did not stress about things. It just, it's how he vibed through life. And he got so much more out of his body and life than he should have because of that incredible attitude. So ask yourself, as you're taking imperfect action, throughout your day, oh, it's not organic, or oh, it wasn't grown from my garden, or oh, kimchi is a superfood for me. I'm not making it like I used to. I'm buying the best that I can from a container, and I'm eating that for my kimchi. I'm not in the headspace to make my own kimchi right now. I'm focusing on other things, making sure I get enough calories every day, making sure I've got fiber every day, making sure I'm moving. 6 months, I had a shutdown, and I cannot believe the difference. The things I thought that were just little were making such a difference in my body. And man, did I slam backwards, taking 6 months off, and now I'm rebuilding. I'm not beating myself up. The 6 months off, I wasn't even in the place to know, oh, I'm taking 6 months off. So if you haven't been doing what you thought, come and join me in the Underachiever Club during this 30-day magnesium challenge. Remember, magnesium and soaking in magnesium, it matters where you get it. Getting it from a source that is clean and undiluted, hasn't been processed and turned into flakes and then reconstituted back into water, is crucial if you want to move your magnesium red blood cell numbers. Oh, Kristen, you are so kind, and your thoughts that you have reached out to me with have meant so much to me. They just knowing that somebody was aware. And that's why I say healthy women are connected women. And Kristen connected to me at a time when I was doing this. And so I'd do this a little bit, and I'd see the connection and the notes that she sent to me, and it meant so much to me. Healthy women are connected women. Sometimes we keep sending them to have self-care. And self-care is great, don't get me wrong. I love to go get my nails done or take a bath. But I think sometimes we send women for self-care when they actually need community. We need each other. We need to be connected to each other. When you lose a connection, that's a big part of of who you are, and a connection that means a lot to you. My health suffered, incredibly suffered, because of that loss of connection. Healthy women are connected women. So let's connect with each other during this 30-day challenge. And let's see, tomorrow is Thursday. Yeah, today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, and Friday I'll take a little break on the weekend, and we'll come back strong. And we're going to talk about testing. How do we test? How do we know where to test, what to look for? That's going to be coming up in our next magnesium. And remember, as always, your questions, thoughts, and ideas help me know where to go and what we're talking about on this Magnesium 30-day challenge. So, so excited to talk to you tomorrow. Bye. In stream. There.